Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Wednesday, June the 3rd. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, global stocks have rallied on AI optimism, which has set up the local market for a positive opening, with ASX futures up more than 0.4%. However, oil prices climbed amid rising uncertainty over a deal to end the war in the Middle East. President Trump saying talks are continuing and Iran is reviewing a proposed agreement. While momentum is slowing on Wall Street, the record run continues, with the three majors closing modestly higher. The Russell 2000 outperformed its larger cap peers, with small cap stocks having some of the biggest beneficiaries of the ongoing enthusiasm surrounding AI. Strong results from Hewlett Packard and a funding commitment from Alphabet reinforced confidence about the AI build-out, with Hewlett Packard shares jumping after the AI server maker pulled forward its long-term financial targets by 2 years. Alphabet said it was looking to raise $80 billion in equity offerings, including an investment from Berkshire Hathaway to fund a costly expansion of its AI infrastructure. Its shares though slipping. Palo Alto Networks shares rose more than 7% after the close on its forecast for adjusted earnings that was stronger than anticipated, signalling ongoing demand for security services amid growing AI-related threats. Marvell Technology shares surged after NVIDIA chief executive Jensen Huang called the chipmaker the next trillion-dollar company. NVIDIA invested $2 billion in Marvell in March. Shares of Virgin Galactic have crashed back to earth after soaring more than 200% over the past 2 weeks. And a sharp drop in the Bitcoin price has hit cryptocurrency firms. Iranian state media says the regime is reviewing a proposed agreement with the US to halt the war, but has not communicated with Washington for a few days. President Trump has said negotiations had been ongoing, having stated at the beginning of the week that there would be a deal over the next week to extend a ceasefire agreed in early April and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. On the data docket, Eurozone inflation rose from 3% annual rate to 3.2% in May, as expected, with core inflation up to 2.5%, which economists see as strengthening the case for a rate hike from the ECB next week. And in the US, job openings in April rose 4.6% to the highest level in 2 years. US Treasury yields were slightly higher following the jobs opening data. The US 2-year rising to 4.05%, the 10-year at 4.46%. The Australian 3-year government bond yields rose to 4.57%, the 10-year at 4.94%. US dollar index up slightly for the day. The Aussie has risen to 71.8 US cents. Oil prices have climbed to a 1-week high as the market waited for more news on the Iran war. Brent futures up 1% at $96 a barrel. The gold price little changed at around $4,485 an ounce. Copper futures rose more than 1.5%. Iron ore up 0.5% to 107 a tonne. And Bitcoin has tumbled close to 67,000 US dollars, with negative sentiment triggering around $1.5 billion US dollars in liquidations over the past 24 hours. Ahead locally today, we'll get a read on Australian economic growth with the release of the March quarter GDP figures. And on the corporate calendar, Superloop and Lottery Corp are due to hold an investor day. That's your day ahead. See you again tomorrow.